This is the world according to Jen and Carolyn.
We've had a bit of a wild week. Yeah. Carolyn more so than myself. Yeah. And so
we're all healthy though.
We're all healthy.
Everything's good.
Yeah. Yeah. We've got, there's no reason to be concerned about us, I swear. But it was, we had some wild cards this week.
Yeah.
And so we did not get to finish our episode about the history of psychedelics in the US, but that's going to be coming at you next week. So this week we thought, hey, since my husband and her boyfriend are upstairs watching the Masters, which we don't really give a fuck about, we decided to come down here and just riff on this side project that we've been working on. We just entitled it, or Carolyn entitled it, Hey Friend. And I would say that most of it is things that you put together that resonate with me. And I think they'll resonate with our audience.
Well, and it's so true, I think, to friendships where you just like kind of say like, hey, is this weird? Or like, do you ever think about this? And then your friend's like, no, why do you think about that? Or they're like, absolutely. Yes. I validate that.
Yeah, I honor it. So, and I honor all these. Okay. So the first one that you put, and if you're like wondering what the hell we're talking about, once we start getting into this, you're going to be like, oh yeah. Okay. So, and honestly, too, if there's anything strange that you think about or that you think is strange that we're probably going to totally validate because we're big weirdos, send us a message on TikTok.
Yeah, we're your friends. You can say hey friends.
We're on Instagram, TikTok. Soon we'll have a Facebook page. For what reason? I don't know.
Just so we're more connected.
Well, for people who are our age and older. Because
that is our audience.
Our demographic seems to like to... Facebook is like the social media preference, I think, for the elderly, for the 40 and older crew. So Gen Z, we got you.
Yeah.
So are we Gen Z? No, I'm sorry. We're not Gen Z. We're millennials.
I guess I always have a hard time
Gen
with
Z
it.
is the current youngsters.
Okay.
We just made the cut for millennials, I think.
I always think it was more Gen Z. I know we're not Gen X. But
no, we're not. But I think
we're probably millennials.
1980 and a little bit earlier is that. So we're Gen X, I think. So, okay, we're millennials. I don't know. Anyway, so the first one of these that you put together that totally resonates with me is sometimes if I'm driving behind a truck that has a bunch of wood or like iron rods in it, I have to move because I have this fear that they're going to stop short and all those rods are going to go through my eyeballs. Is that weird? No, it's not weird. When
I think about that all the time. Whenever I'm driving behind a truck like that, I'm like, I gotta switch lanes.
Yeah,
I've seen. Remember wasn't it in
Final Destination?
No, who's the kid? Damon. The Omen.
Oh, the Omen.
Isn't that how one of the dudes gets decapitated because like something possibly like slides off a truck bed and like decapitates him?
Maybe in the newer version, I can't quite remember. But there's a movie.
I'm almost positive that happened.
Okay. That sounds like something that would happen in The Omen. It's all for you, Damien. Well, I remember, you've never seen this movie, and I recommend you do not because it's fucking terrifying, but it's called The Descent. And the opening scene is this woman, her husband is in the passenger seat, child is in the seat behind them.
Oh no.
They don't show anything, but that's exactly what happens. And all you see, oh my God, I remember, it's like a camera looking down at the car through the front windshield after the impact has happened, after the rod has gone through the car. And all you see is like her husband's hand, like the twitching hand as his body's dying. Oh, that fucked me up so bad.
Terrible.
I still think about it. And I saw that like 20 years ago.
Yeah, I don't trust anyone like tying up shit in the back of their truck.
Nope.
I like my head. I
don't
want to get decapitated.
No way. I don't need a rod going through my eyes, straight through my brain. Oh yeah, and in the movie it went through the husband's head, presumably, and then through the child, because she lost both her husband and the kid in that accident.
No.
Fortunately, they don't show anything with the kid, but the fact that it happened and you know it happened is enough to really fuck me up.
Like, I'm almost, like, seatbelts I think are important, but I'd wear a crash helmet driving. Like, I'm just so
full-blown helmet. Just give me a motorcycle helmet with a visor.
Yeah, like, I want to be fully like locked and loaded because I'm frightened of dying
like
in my car.
Car driver. Well, I mean, these accidents happen all the time.
Remember the 80s, the crash test dummies?
Oh, yeah.
That was like a thing, like buckle up. Seatbelts aren't for dummies or something.
We were just watching My Cousin Vinny last night for mine and Bill's podcast, Seen It with Bill and Jen, no big deal. And they get into the car and it's a convertible. Oh, no, it wasn't a convertible, but they get in the car anyway and they're not wearing seatbelts.
Yeah.
They like drive off. That was like early 90s.
Yeah.
So I have a friend, he's much older than me. He's probably in his 70s now. But I'd get in the car with him and he wouldn't use his seatbelt. And it was newer technology. Like the car would just be like, beep, 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 like put your fucking seatbelt on. But Joe did not wear a seatbelt. I'm like, this is fucking nuts.
My dad didn't want to wear a seatbelt.
Yeah.
And he got his doctor to write, because my dad was very like, the government doesn't tell me what I can and can't do.
Some some laws are really good.
He was like, and I'm like, but he's like, well, I'm a really safe driver. I'm like, but what about the other driver?
Yeah.
So, weird things my dad does.
Interesting. I think it was just that age. That
all right,
time.
Jen.
Yeah.
Give us the next weird thing Carolyn has sent you.
Okay.
Hey, friend.
I worry about this as well. Do you ever worry that a spider or some kind of insect is going to crawl into your ear while you sleep? I do, actually.
Yeah. Or your mouth.
More my ear.
More your ear?
Have you ever seen the movie Broke Down Palace with Claire Danes? And I can't remember who
No.
else. Okay. So in this movie, they end up in I think it's a Thai prison. Somebody plants.
That's not good.
Somebody, they have no knowledge that some dude they met, some like sexy Australian guy in Thailand, like tries to have them Sherpa drugs through the
I have seen
line.
that.
Okay.
I have seen that. And then they rip off that in Bridget Jones.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I have
second
no
one.
idea. But all I remember, or one of the things I remember, is they're in a Thai prison and her friend gets a severe like ear brain infection because a cockroach crawled in her ear and laid eggs, bro.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
Fuck no.
Yep. Oh, that's fucked up.
Well, my boyfriend's really interesting because he doesn't even like, we have one bed that doesn't have a headboard right now.
Uh-huh.
And I'll take pillows and like kind of like arrange them like a headboard. And he doesn't like that because he's afraid that the spiders are going to crawl onto the pillow and nest in the pillow.
That's weird.
I know.
That's that's a bridge too far.
Okay, other question though.
Okay.
When you buy things at a store, do
Yeah.
you wash it before you wear it?
No.
See, me neither. Okay, he
No.
also, my boyfriend, got very stressed out because I bought pajamas at Target and I got into bed. He's like, did you not wash those yet? And I was like, no. And he's like, I can't like, and I was like, are you fucking serious?
What, does he think there's formaldehyde in it?
He thinks there's like weird like bugs or something that you should wash first.
Bugs?
I know.
No, my mom, when I was growing up, my mom used to tell me, they treat clothes with formaldehyde or whatever, which they used to embalm bodies. I don't know if that's true or
Didn't
not.
they put like fire protection on like
fire retardant or
on,
some
like,
shit? That's cool. Then I'm not going to
pajamas?
catch fire when I'm in bed.
But he like legitimately, and I was like, this is one of those moments where it's not a big deal to me, but it seems to be a very big deal to you.
Yes.
Therefore, I will compromise, even though I think you're being ridiculous.
The only thing that I'll typically wash before I wear it is underwear. I like to wash underwear before I wear them.
Yeah.
Just because I'm like, this is going to be rubbing against my crotch and my butthole all day. Because I usually only wear thongs. There's a little insight into to how I like to rock. So anyway, yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
But, yes.
So yeah, we're worried things are going to crawl into our ears.
And then what was it? Was it Beastmaster? Where that's how they would control people? That you've never seen Beastmaster, huh? Beastmaster was dope, not Bassmasters. And I think they put like some kind of weird worm in your ear, and then they'd be able to mind control you. Yeah. All right, it seems feasible. All right, this other one you put together. This one is great. Do you ever worry that there are ghosts and spirits that can see you when you undress, have sex, pick your nose, etc.? I do think about that sometimes, especially since I have a couple friends who passed. I'm like, oh, what are they going to fucking
looking
see?
at me?
Yeah.
Because that's what our friends want to do when they're dead. They want to look at me taking a shit.
Well, they are our friends, so they're weird. So that's probably not too far off base. So, yeah.
Well, and I always check toilets now.
For spiders?
No,
or
for
ghosts?
Cameras.
Oh, because of the Starbucks thing?
Yeah, I'm like, if someone really wants to watch me, I could care less, but I'm also like, no, you have to pay for that.
I think about it in Borat, where I don't remember what he says, but he's something like, I put camera in bathroom to watch ladies make toilet.
Oh.
Like, God damn it.
I mean, no offense if that's what floats your boat, but do it consensually.
Well, Bill and I were talking about this on our other podcast because there was a Starbucks, I think, in the South Bay where they found out somebody had put a camera in, installed a camera, and was watching people go to the bathroom. And he was like, if you want to watch me take a dump, go for it.
Right?
I'm like, if that's your kink, I guess.
Yeah, no, thank you. I'm not into that.
No, thanks. Yeah. Okay, so ghosts and spirits, maybe. I don't know.
Not as worried about that.
I think if like my husband died, I would assume that he was always watching me, even though I don't necessarily believe in the afterlife.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's a lot that we can unpack with that one.
I'd be more worried that he'd haunt my ass if I like moved on and found another guy. I'd be like, oh no, I'm gonna fucking kill him. I'm gonna haunt you. He'd be like a poltergeist, just like knocking things down. Fuck this guy.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, it would. It'd be something Bill would do. Okay, this one resonates too. Are you concerned about the possibility of picking up some sort of parasite from unclean water, and that parasite will grow in your brain and destroy it like that Monsters Inside of Me show? Yeah, I think that that's relevant as well. So, go away. Liam, upstairs, please.
Are you almost done?
Yes, get out of here. I'm probably going to edit that, but maybe not. We told my child we'd take him to the park and we were done because he doesn't want to. Surprise! He doesn't give a fuck about the Masters either. Much to Dad's disappointment. He's like, "Can we just go to the fucking park?" Yeah. So he keeps checking on us because he wants to go. So
fair.
Yeah, I do worry about that actually. I think that one's actually a little more plausible.
Well, again, the fact that we have good drinking water, we should be very thankful for that. But I always think about they're like, oh, we put fluoride in the water. Like, what else in our water?
Yeah, so this happened in Florida because all shitty, weird things.
Yeah.
Especially with parasites and like strange animals and white trash and,
The more Republicans, the more weird shit.
Exactly. There is a correlation, but there was something going on with some water and somebody got a parasitic something or other in their brain that went through their nose that they got at a water park. And I don't remember if it killed the person or if they just got really sick.
That's horrible.
And then same like water system, I believe, also in Florida. This person used a fucking neti pot. And that's how the shit got in their brain. So I don't fuck with neti pots because I'm too concerned.
Oh, I'm pretty sure your brain, does it have like the blood? We didn't do any science
blood-brain
research on
barrier,
this, but there's very few things that can pass through that. It's very
know,
rare,
though.
But yeah, you hear about stuff all the time.
There's worms. My mom used to always freak me out. She's like, "Oh, if you don't cook pork well enough, you can get trichinosis."
Yeah. No, well, and what was the Netflix show we watched about food? What was the name of it?
Oh,
it frightened me to death. I won't buy cut up fruit anymore at the store.
No, I don't buy that either. God, it's gonna come to me, but yeah, that one messed me up.
Poison?
Because I think it's called Poison.
Something poisoned, yeah.
And ordinarily when you get a documentary like that, it's like the emphasis is typically on the meat industry because lots of nasty shit comes from the fucking meat industry. Except now I do feel better about eating ground beef because they regulated it so hard after that Jack in the Box thing where multiple people, children in particular, died from E. coli.
And now you just get your E. coli from spinach and fruit. And what was it? Just Trader Joe's recently had to recall all their cashews.
Yep. Costco always has recalls too. Costco's and Trader Joe's, man. I love Costco's. Costco though. Yeah.
It's just frightening.
No, and that more was about how the government needs to regulate these things more. Because they were talking about
is the FDA not doing a good job with that?
Surprise! Well, they're missing steps, right? Apparently they're not going to, there's a ton of crop cultivation that happens near meat packing plants and shit. And so the runoff is getting into the water system that's going onto the plant. So it's like shit from cows. Mm-hmm. And then it's like spraying out over your lettuce.
Yes. And it's like a whole, if there's a name for this hog spray off, but they have to keep it moving.
Yeah.
And the spray goes miles, gets picked up in the wind. And it is on people's houses. It's like shit mold.
Oh, that's disgusting, dude. But yeah, so there's no regulation when it comes to these places being in close proximity to waterways that water are fucking vegetables.
Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then not really regulating the inside of not a slaughterhouse, but where the animals grow up.
We put a lot of, you put a lot of faith when you even go to a restaurant that like, and I remember in the pandemic, I was like, oh, was it even safe to be getting takeout?
Yeah.
And I remember a friend of mine who's a nurse said, well, if you would have ordered from that restaurant prior to the pandemic and you feel like they have good food safety, it's probably fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're trusting that humans are going to not scratch their asshole and then make your food.
Yes.
And I don't have a lot of faith in that.
No, I don't either. And just like cross-contamination can happen so easily. And it was funny because in that same movie, they're showing all these times that you can cross-contaminate when you're prepping chicken.
Yes.
And I was like, I don't do that, or that. And Bill's like, oh shit, I didn't know that you took such extra precaution with chicken. I am so anal with chicken. I wash my hands constantly. I don't even touch the knob. I use the back of my hand that did not touch any of the chicken to turn the water on. I bleach the countertop where I prepared the chicken. Like, I'm fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's necessary.
Do you want to hear a terrible story about me that might change your perception of me? Now, I have to say, I was only about 15. I was on a worker's permit working at Baker's of Paris on Caravel Street. That was one of my first jobs.
Awesome.
And I was a frequenter of the spit coffee for customers that I did not like, that were really rude to me.
Oh, no.
That's pretty bad, huh? That's some bad karma.
Look, you weren't yet an adult. And the front part of your brain associated with good decision making had not yet formed, so you're going to get a pass. However, my ex-husband, who worked in the food industry and went to culinary school, used to say, you never fuck with a man's food or his car. He's like, that's some pussy shit. So I always think about that.
I wasn't nice. That was a terrible thing.
You were 15 and good girl.
And anyway,
good
now
girl.
I write lists of weird things I'm afraid of.
Yes. And you have right to, because you were one of the perpetrators. Although I did my mom had this girlfriend that I fucking hated named Juana. Ugh. And I took Juana's toothbrush. I was like maybe 12. And I took it and I dipped it in pee-pee water.
Okay.
Yeah. Little pee-pee toothbrush for Juana. Take that, bitch. So yeah, I'm no better.
Your mind was up.
Yeah. I'm no better. No better. All right. What's the next one here? What's on your keychain? Oh, wait, no. Yeah. What's on your keychain? This isn't so much a fear, but what's on your keychain, Carolyn?
I carry a birdie. Do you know what that is?
Yeah,
you got me into these. You got me into these. Oh,
yeah.
Dude. We don't work for them, but they should. Hey, birdie, if you want to promote us, we're down. It is a beautifully colored. You can design your own birdie. Yeah. And it's basically a pole that if you're ever attacked, and as women, I'm very frightened constantly. As a frequent listener of murder podcasts.
And a hiker. And doing the two things simultaneously.
Yeah.
I'm listening to my murder podcast.
With my ponytail.
Yeah. Sensory. I'm being like sensory deprived. I don't know if somebody's going to come up behind me.
Well, now I have my birdie, and if you pull it, it makes an ear, like a horrific, loud,
and it has a strobe light on it.
And it has a strobe light on it.
Yeah. I'm going to blind you and make you go down.
And I have my mace. Which, interesting story, touched your mace, because when I wasn't attacked, but like the weird homeless guy,
the unhoused guy who got you a couple years ago.
When I went to spray him with my mace, it didn't come out all the way. And the police officer made sure to tell me that I should be testing this thing if I'm going to carry it. And I was like, yeah, I guess that's true. Okay. And so test your mace. So yeah, I carry mace. Yeah. But remember how, and I think Amy Schumer did a thing about this, like we carry our keychain, or the key.
Oh yeah, between your fingers.
As if you were going to, if God forbid anyone ever got that close to me. But I would fucking stab them in the eye, the neck, the dick. I would do just about anything.
Well, you were there when I bought that thing. It looks like a bulldog. It's almost like brass knuckles, but it's plastic, and it's like a pit bull.
You would shaped like a pit bull,
and it's got pointed stabby ears. And Bill wants me to take it with me now, not for the human threat, but there have been so many reports in the news lately about dogs, particularly dogs of unhoused folks that aren't trained properly, that are just attacking people. Yeah, it's crazy. So he was like, you're going to have to protect our dog and yourself and possibly our child. He's like, that shit with you. So,
I'll just stay inside.
Yeah, right. Just going to sit in front of the TV and eat bad food and not go anywhere ever. So, yeah, keep something on your keychain to keep you safe. I mean, a coworker of mine, I work in the mid-market area, downtown of San Francisco. And a couple of years ago, before I started working for the city, she was punched in the face randomly by an unhoused person. Yeah. Going to her car in the Bank of America parking lot, which is attached to our building. The bottom floor of our building is Bank of America.
Yeah.
And some dude came out of nowhere, and she's a black belt in karate too. But this guy got like completely unsuspecting.
Yeah.
Didn't see him coming. Came up, was like, "Fuck," and like ran away.
What?
She didn't even have time to react.
Oh my God.
This is a black belt in karate. But that just proves
element
that
of surprise.
Yes, somebody catches you off guard, you're not going to be able to react fast enough unless you're Jean-Claude Van Damme or something.
Well, and this brings me to a very interesting question, Jen.
Okay.
So speaking of which, protection.
Yes.
This has happened to me several times in the past week, and my boyfriend Mario and I had a conversation about this. When someone, a stranger, asks you for help on the street. So we were walking the other day, and this very sweet boy, we were coming out of San Mateo CSM swimming, and cerebral palsy, and needed help getting his jacket on.
Oh yeah.
And you could tell he was struggling.
Yeah.
And it was very windy in the jacket, and so we were walking on, this woman went over and helped him. And we were talking, we're like, oh, that's really sweet. Like, yay for humanity. Like, he was really appreciative of that.
Yeah.
And we had this conversation about, it's really hard to assess. And like, I was taught, no, don't help. Yeah. Because what if when you're going to help, someone comes up behind you and attacks you? And that's always in my head, where I'm like, okay, this is kind of benign. But so yesterday we're on our walk, and there's these two women are trying to get into a car that was sort of double parked weird by the Cliff House. And they're using a coat hanger, and this lady asks us. Oh, she literally sounded like the mother from the Goonies.
Oh, Lord.
What was that lady?
Mama Fratelli?
Mama Fratelli. No front teeth. That's what she sounded like. No front teeth. And she goes, can you help us? We got locked out of our car.
From the train.
And the woman who was trying to get it out was very short. And this other one was very tall. And she's like, we can't reach. And my boyfriend just said, nope.
Yeah.
And we just kept walking.
I think it really depends. If your gut's telling you this is a suspicious situation, keep walking.
I had a lot of questions.
Yeah, if you have questions, you probably should just keep going.
But it's terrible. I thought we also felt bad. We're like, this person maybe needed help. But we were also like, well, you're kind of tall. Why don't you go help?
What?
Yeah.
If the women who fell for Ted Bundy's ruse when he put on the cast and acted like he was injured and needed help moving a boat, had they not...
Well, I'm not doing that.
No. Fuck no. And that's where Silence of the Lambs got it too, with Buffalo Bill on the fucking couch. Hey, you about a size 14? Like that shit, that is straight from Ted Bundy. Wow. And so, and of course I say it's all circumstantial, but so many women, they're like, oh, this is a nice looking white man. He's gonna be all right. Whereas I'm the opposite. I'm like, no. White boys are the least trustworthy.
Yeah,
all the men.
100%.
So yeah, it's all circumstantial, right? And in San Francisco in particular, I feel like you have to be careful, because I feel like there are people who prey on you all the time. Although there was a man I was walking, it was Hayes Valley. It was the middle of the afternoon. I was on my walk, and this guy who was, looked unhoused, he was like, I need to get to SF General. Can you just point me in the direction of like a bus, whatever? And so, we were on the street. He wasn't asking me for money or anything. He was just asking me for directions. First of all, I'm the wrong person to ask.
Yeah, I don't know where the hell I'm going.
In spite of growing up around here, I don't fucking know cardinal directions. But I was like, if you go that way, Van Ness, like, just get on a fucking bus. I don't know the buses. Yeah. But, I was willing to help in that sense.
Yeah.
But it's hard. All I can say is trust your gut.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Right.
And it's not you. It's unfortunate that we live in a world where you have to be skeptical.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's hard.
Yeah.
These are things I think about.
I think most of us think about these things. And we're going to leave you with that. This might be a segment that we keep bringing back. Let us know what you think. Send us your, hey, do you ever think about this weird shit? Fill in the blank, and we'll get back to you. Maybe we'll even do a fucking TikTok about it. We'll mention you. It'll be dope.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll be coming at you guys next week with a new episode on the history of psychedelics in the U.S. Follow us on TikTok at, what the fuck are we?
Subscribe. The world. Well, I think it's Twat JC.
Oh yeah, we're Twat JC.
Because the world according to Jen and Carolyn spells twat, and we thought that was funny.
Yeah, pretty great.
Because we're
pretty great.
We're about 12-year-old mature.
We are. Sometimes. We're pretty much Beavis
highly
and Butthead.
educated female Beavis and Butthead.
Yes, and me and Bill, ours is Seen It BJ. So,
I like that.
Another little double entendre. So anyway, you guys, we hope you enjoyed this random ass episode, and we'll see you next week.
Yay!
Bye.
Bye.